bands.
Memory. Memory is one of the most precious things human can have. From childhood until now, brain is responsible for storing millions of memories we have. The process of memories can be divided into 3 steps, which are encoding, storaging, and retrieving. Now imagine yourself studying for midterm. Have you noticed that sometimes you cannot really remember most of the things you've learned from the material? Well, that's actually normal. How can we enhance our memory and our ability to retrieve those material in our memories? Our group will explain this more thoroughly. Directing attentional resources to stimuli in the environment can lead to the likelihood of the memory to enter the sensory system and entering short-term memory. Maintenance rehearsal actually help information to loop inside the short-term memory, while elaborative rehearsal pushes information from short-term memory to long-term memory. As we know by now, encoding specificity principle can actually increase the retrieval of memory from long-term memory by providing cues to help us gain access of the memory trace.
We can increase memory through techniques designed to enhance encoding and aid in retrieval, called mnemonics. Several mnemonics techniques are method of loci, backward system, keyword method, verbal techniques, and recall of names. The way the method of loci works is to associate certain objects with certain places. That means, by mentally visiting the place and going to those locations, the individual is able to recall those items. These locations or loci can be a room, a familiar pet, or even a mansion. Imagine you are bringing things to your friends, but it was too many. To make it easier, you start to make a relation between the things you have and the room you have to go to.
Pangs word system or the Paisley system has several forms, but the basic idea is that one learns a set of words that serve as pangs on which items to be memorized are hung, much as a hat rack has pangs on which hats, scarves, and coats may be hung. After the pangs list has been learned, you hook a set of items to the pangs. One way this can be done is by imagining an interaction between the pangs words and the to be remembered or TBR words.
The first word in a series of TBR words is milk. It can be imagined to interact with bun in some way.
More bizarre and impossible the image, in this example, you might think of milk being poured over a bun.
A slightly different form of the peg word is a technique that I personally like. It's called the keyword method, which is useful in learning foreign language vocabulary. So if our lingua franca is Indonesian, imagine learning English words. In Indonesian, the word banana means pisang, which is a kind of fruit. From this, we associate a word, an Indonesian word, that sounds like banana. Banana in banana, it actually sounds like nanas, nanas. In Indonesia, it means pineapple.
And now we have 2 words we have to associate together through imagery. Pineapple and banana. We could imagine a salad bowl filled with pineapple and bananas. Now, when we hear the word banana, we recall the image of a pineapple and banana fruit salad. I remember that banana means pisang.
There are several additional techniques that you probably use in verbal techniques. One is based on acronyms, or words formed in the basis of the first letters in a phrase or a group of words. The acronym serves as a cue for the word. It provides information on order, provides information on how many items are necessary to remember, and serves as a reminder for omitted words.
When we learn about biopsychology, it is normal for us to to get lost with all the terminologies. For example, using CNS to memorize the central nervous system.
Another related system is to form an acrostic, or phrase or sentence, where the first letters are associated with the to-be-recalled words. Sentences that are bizarre, personally meaningful, or visual are easiest to remember.
To make it easier to remember parts of sensory system, we can use this technique. For example, Vicky got oval sponge from Lena. Vicky can be used to remember visual. God can be used to remember gustatory. Oval can be used to remember olfactory. Sponge can be used to remember somatosensory. And Anna can be used to remember auditory.
And Lucas found that there are learning name associated with the phrase above 3 steps. The first is remembering the name. It may be done by paying close attention to the way that it pronounced, then by forming a substitute name or phrase for it. Second is involves searching for outstanding feature in a person's face. For example, a big forehead, a beard, or unusual glasses. The last one is associating a substitute word with outstanding feature.
For instance, I have a friend here named Hamza. He's a very tall individual. He also has a pencil-case fish. So whenever we see fish or someone who is tall, we can associate it with Hamza.
That's all explanation of mnemonic technique and how it works. But which technique is the best? Douglas Herman found that some technique work well for some type of material, while others technique work for different types. Specifically, a pair associating learning, imaginary meditation work best for free recall learning. The story mnemonic seems to be superior, while for serial learning, the method of Loki worked well in another assessment of mnemonic technique. Garcia and Diners found that when we test over a week, the method of Loki, backward, and acrostic proved to be